Many of you know that I'm passionate about education and that I care deeply about every single child in Idaho having the opportunity to receive an excellent education.
And that was nearly a month ago when Senator Lori Den Hartog introduced what would become House Bill 447, the Idaho Parental Choice Tax Credit Bill. The title is self-explanatory. Its intent is to let parents and legal guardians choose the educational services that meet the needs of their individual children. And it would subsidize that choice by allowing parents to claim a tax credit up to $5,000 per student or $7,500 for kids with special needs. So any money spent on such education, from textbooks to tutoring to transportation to tuition for private schools, they can get back when they file their taxes. And it would be eligible on a first file, first credited basis, capping the amount available at $40 million. But there's also a grant portion of the bill for lower income families who can't pay it right away, but then hoping to get paid back on the back end. Well, that part of the program is capped at $10 million, so $50 million total. So House Bill 447 has been in the House Revenue and Taxation Committee for almost 4 weeks. And there's been no movement on it, at least publicly. But there certainly has been some movement in that committee and some rules that haven't changed, which could impact the bill's progression. The story of what is happening this year with the House Revenue and Taxation Committee.
So the substitute motion to hold 139 in committee has passed.
Can be traced back to what happened last year in the House Education Committee. Last March, 2 harmful materials in the library bills.
All in favor of adjournment say aye.
Failed to advance on the same day.
So we are adjourned.
Which led to Representative Judy Boyle.
It is our duty to do that. And as a mom and a grandma, I am ashamed if we cannot.
To resign from the Education Committee that afternoon.
And it's not because I was on the losing end of that. It's because I honestly think we should protect children.
Jump ahead to 2024. And 5 weeks into the session, House Majority Leader Megan Blanksma is removed from her leadership position for questioning how budget bills are being handled.
I'm frustrated, to be honest. I am frustrated in that I feel like I've done a good job.
Blanksma would be replaced the following week by Representative Jason Monks.
The hour of 9 o'clock having arrived.
Who would gavel his last Revenue and Taxation Committee on February 14th.
So we will be adjourned until tomorrow at 9:30.
That day, his seat as chair,
welcome everybody,
was filled by Representative David Cannon from Blackfoot.
My humility and my gratitude for being in this position.
But there was another change to the Revenue and Taxation Committee.
I want to take another privilege and extend a warm welcome to our newest member. Representative Boyle has joined us.
With the addition of Representative Boyle.
Was there any explanation as to why she was added to this committee?
None that I was given, no.
None, okay.
It is somewhat unusual, along with, I think, everything that has happened in terms of the change in leadership. This session has been somewhat unusual.
What some might also see as odd, the number 17. That's how many now sit on the Revenue and Taxation Committee, where a school choice tax credit bill is likely headed. And the possible tie-breaking vote could come from newly added Representative Boyle, a known proponent of school choice.
Yeah, I have nothing, I don't have any information. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's a plan. I would just be speculating if I weighed in on that.
Do you expect 447 to come up soon? I mean, that's up to you, right?
It is up to me. I mean, I'm talking to people, including the sponsors as well. I expect that it'll come up soon, yes.
Why haven't we seen it already?
Just a timing issue and just people having discussions with, the sponsors and the stakeholders.
Is there anything to the point of maybe not having enough support yet?
I don't want to weigh in on that. Again, that would be speculation on my part. It hasn't come up in the context of, hey, let's schedule this at a time when we have enough support to get it through or anything like that.
So when it does come up, when you make that decision, there's been a lot of talk lately about who's allowed to testify.
Yes, sir.
Is it true that remote testimony will not be allowed?
It is true that remote testimony will not be allowed. I wanted there to be continuity in terms of, how things had been run previous. This is a committee that hasn't had, in the last couple of years, remote testimony. And so without regard to 447 or any other individual piece of legislation, I just made a decision that we would finish the session the way we started it.
So has there been any push for you to change your mind on this?
There has been, yes.
And
I am not planning to change my mind.
Chair Cannon says emails and conversations are also a way constituents can be heard on a bill.
We are engaged with our constituents on this even as we speak. I've had meetings in person, on the phone, over video conference with lots of people from my district about 447.
so what have you been hearing from your constituents?
Strictly by the numbers, I feel like probably that the folks in District 30 have weighed in more heavily in favor of 447 and the school choice that it would represent. I feel like those against it might have a little higher level of intensity on it.
We did reach out to Speaker of the House, Representative Mike Boyle, who is the one who decides who sits on what committee, because we wanted to ask him about this replacement, or this placement, I should say. We are waiting to hear if he is available this week. Chair Cannon says he believes in most cases, most members of the Revenue and Taxation Committee go into a hearing already knowing how they're going to vote on a bill based on their conversations and the emails and the work they've done on the ground leading up to this hearing. So it's been a month, and the wheels have been turning around the scene or behind the scenes on House Bill 447. Conversations are being held with the bill sponsors, as you heard. So when I asked if it will be the same bill presented as the day it was printed, Chair Cannon, well, he couldn't say. It could be different. Still no word, though, when House Bill 447 will get a full hearing in the committee.